My grandfather came to Elk Mountain with just a truck and a chainsaw. He built the ranch you see here today. While I was gone fighting a war for my country, there was a war back home that I didn't know about. This war was with the bank. Over the years, my father collected huge debts that seemed impossible to pay back. Now that he has passed away, I'm returning home to try and save what my grandfather built. Welcome to Elk Mountain Ranch. We are back, got a brand new truck. It is March, week 1, and a lot has changed. So it turns out I was not able to save the ranch. We went and tried to file bankruptcy under Chapter 12 bankruptcy. A ranch or a farm can still keep everything and keep operating, just have to repay some of it. But turns out my father went ahead and already did that and did not let my mother know, so she had no idea about it. And you may be wondering why I'm pulling into this area, and I'll tell you right now, my wife, she is going to be very mad at me because I love her to death, but you might be able to tell there is something wrong with her. She is a Ford person. Yep, I said that. I just went and picked up the Chevy for myself, and she's going to kill me because I did just spend $20,000 on it. Really good deal used. Quite a bit of hours on it, quite a bit of miles. But this is her old farm truck that her father had before he passed away. And she is a Ford person. I'm sure she's looking right through one of those windows right now at me. And oh man, I am really regretting this already. I don't know, we'll see. But we did need a new truck. That Ford does keep breaking down and we're having to walk a lot of places. So it's not doing us any good. And you may be shocked, I did say my wife, yes. So during that whole bankruptcy and losing of the ranch there, Sarah, she was the lady down the street that I mentioned growing up with, we ended up hitting it off, and it was pretty short, but we got married. Now, she was struggling to keep her farm alive, and she did lose all her land and most of her equipment, but she did take me and my mom in. But over time, I was able to keep her farm alive. Now, I am not giving up on my family's ranch at all, but first priorities are let's finish paying off all the loans on this farm right here, and then eventually get back into our ranch, which is known to the locals as Elk Mountain Ranch. And currently, nobody's running it right now. The bank owns it, and I mean, luckily, with the bank owning it, we don't own no $10 million to buy it. It doesn't cost that much. Well, it doesn't cost no $10 million. Still costs quite a bit. So we got to get up to that, but right now there's currently still a large loan against this land here that my wife and I have been trying to pay off with odd ends and jobs here. Now, what kind of odd ends and jobs have we been doing? We'll take a quick look at that as I show you all the equipment we now have. Well, I was right. She's mad. She is very, very mad. I told her to work it off, but we were saving up money there to buy a new silo. That silo over there is all completely rotted on the inside. The lower half is destroyed. Tons of water damage to it, mold and everything. So let's go ahead and take a quick look into our barn here. I'll open up all the doors, get them opened up. We do have some equipment. Now, the way we have been making most of our money is through grass. And grass actually doesn't pay that good around here. It needs to be shipped off to other places or put into a local dryer, and not many people around here have a dryer. So that's kind of what we were trying to do with that silo, is get it destroyed, demolished, and put in a grass dryer, turn the grass into hay. But there's tons of grass everywhere, and the county is allowing us to mow along the roads. That's how we've been getting our money. Do have this old 4955 John Deere with front loader attachment. Front loader over there with log forks. Even though I've been doing a lot of grass work, I still do some log work every now and then. Now, Miller over at the sawmill, he has allowed me to continue doing some driving, but you may have noticed there was no semi here, and I'll show you how I was doing that. But with the tractor there, got the mower back here. And then we got this large forage wagon right here. This thing has saved us so much time. At first we were belling, but it was just taking forever because we had multiple steps. We had to bell, then pick it up, load it onto a trailer. It was just taking forever, especially with one tractor. So with one tractor, that thing has been working out great. Would love to get another tractor. Would love to get a better setup, but that's what we got for right now. And of course, we got this old Ford over here that's been in my wife's family for a while now. Quite a while. Let's take a look at that hours. 4,643 hours. And the maintenance is all the way down to 0. Just saying. It keeps breaking down on us. There's the old tore up silo we need to get rid of. And then back behind the silo is the logging trailer. Now, previously I was doing jobs for Miller, transporting logs down the mountain in a semi-trailer. But he also had jobs where I could use my truck and, well, my wife's truck in this trailer. So with those jobs being done, it obviously didn't pay as much, but it was better than nothing. So every now and then, whenever I wasn't able to do any grass work, mainly over the winter months, and we just got done with the winter months, but mainly over the winter months, I was able to do quite a bit of log work and save up some money for this truck here. Even though we did talk about getting a grass dryer in and start sailing off hay this year. Go ahead and head back in the house, talk to the wife some more, try to calm her down a little bit. Don't know if that's going to work. Now, we did have a windrower for the grass work, but we ended up having to sell that off. And my mom did have some hospital stays, and that ended up costing quite a bit of money. So let's go in here. We'll take a quick look at the finances, see how much we owe on this little farm here. Now, we don't own much over here. We are all joined together now that I'm married to Sarah. So it is in my name and her name. According to the county, that's farmland 11. This is what we own. Over time, there's been quite a bit of loans against her father. And of course, like I mentioned before, the interest rate just constantly raising the balance up instead of going down. So we'll take a look into what is left on this loan. So there's only 2 years left on this loan at $243,000. Not bad at all. That's $11,000 a month. Quite a bit for most people. And honestly, that's part of the reason why she's going to be very mad at me, because we don't have the money for this month's loan payment. I mean, we're sitting at $4,771 right now. Not much at all. And we got to get some work done. So first things first, it is now March 1st. First things first, March 1st. Great. It is actually week 1 of March, and that means the grass is growing back in. So our business, our full-time main business, is up and going. She has been helping me. My mom has helped me a little bit, but my mom's got out of the picture now. She has not been able to work in the fields ever since she had her little fall recently. So I'm going to go ahead and start with our area. And like I did mention, we had a windrower in the past, don't got it now. Might have to end up getting another one. It was one of the items we thought we could run these operations perfectly fine without. It would just take longer. And we were able to sell it off. Now you may be wondering why I got that large trailer there. And the large trailer is because we don't just mow our yard. We, like I mentioned, the county does allow us to go around mowing the sides of the roads. So that is actually where we get most of our money from. Quite a bit of money, actually. But we're going to go ahead and drop this down, get all of this mowed up around our land, and then see what we end up with. See how long this actually takes us. Well, finish up the last little pass here. Turns out this grass was not as tall as I thought it was. So this is not going to be very much grass at all. And I am really regretting the idea of picking it up without windrowing it. Really regretting it. Let me make a phone call with somebody, see if we can get anything in that might be able to help us quite a bit. I don't know if we can borrow somebody's windrow or what, but I'll just park this up out of the way for now. Well, you know what? Actually, I'm all done with it. Let's go ahead and back this mower in. And now that I think about it, I am actually not done with this. Let's go ahead and drop it right here. The reason I'm not done with it is because all I mowed was the inside of the fence. I still got stuff on the outside of the fence, and now that I look at it a little more over here on the left, I didn't mow any of that. But it is kind of a tight fit, so I don't expect to get much of it. I'm going to go ahead and try out this forage wagon we have here, see how time consuming it is to pick up this grass the way it is. Maybe it won't be as bad as I think it is, but I got a feeling it's going to take a while. And I'll make a phone call while running around on the tractor here to some people around town and see if they got anything I can borrow or trade some work for. But for right now, we're going to head around, start picking this up. Well, just got off the phone with one of the neighbors here, and they told me there's some new technology that came out that allows for a lot wider pickup width where you don't have to windrow before you do the forage wagon. It's kind of all built into one. He's actually bringing the trailer over right now. Very thankful for that. Said he should be over a little afternoon. He's going to grab a bite to eat first and then head on over. So I'm going to keep going around and around with this. He told me I didn't need to because I'm just wasting my time, but I don't know. I'm a little skeptical of new technology, so we'll see what he brings over. And he's going to let me give it a test run around my yard. Well, this is the thing he ended up bringing over, and you should have seen my jaw drop whenever it got here. I couldn't believe it. I didn't know what I was looking at. But this should save me a whole lot of time going around picking this up. It's windrower built in. one less step I got to do, which is absolutely amazing. So let me go through, get all this grass picked up, see how much we end up with. I got a little bit in the other forage wagon, not much. Maybe I could dump it out and get it in here because I got to drive it all the way to town to sell it. That is another thing we was looking at buying. We was looking at upgrading our mowing equipment quite a bit this year, like a whole lot this year. And we'll probably get there. We was looking at getting some sort of wagon that we can pull by gooseneck and take to town a lot easier with our pickup truck than what we had before. Now, I don't know if my pickup truck can hook up to this or not, but I know it can hook up to the other one. So quite a bit left here to go. I'll see y'all in a second. That is actually all. Now, maybe if I do end up buying one of these or leasing one, I will probably end up needing to get some sort of a larger tractor. That ended up being 51,000 liters. Not, you might be able to tell looking in there, it really doesn't look like much, and it's saying we're at a 5% capacity. There's some technology in there that does compress it quite a bit, so we're able to fit a lot inside there. But let's go ahead and get the stuff out of this forage wagon, empty it out, onto the ground, and I'll be able to pick it up. And I still got some more to mow. I'm gonna go ahead and mow right outside the fence here, and then probably across the street too. Now, we do have a contract with the county where we can just mow along any road. And there's a certain distance we're allowed to go off the road that's technically mowable by the county. And I mean, we don't exactly measure it, we just kind of go with what we got. But that was 8,400 liters right there. Not much, but every little bit's going to add up and definitely add up our bank account. So I may be looking at getting rid of this forage wagon here and get me a new one sometime in the near future. And this is why I was saving outside the fence for last, because even though there's just the outside the fence in front of my property, there is all this right here we're allowed to mow up. And I'm going to take this all the way up to the main road. Y'all may have seen me drive on this road a little bit here and there, but it goes a little bit of distance. You can tell on the map down there, just a little bit maybe. That red line is the main road, and we are getting a little bit closer to it. Now, we're not going all the way up to that because there are going to be a few houses up here. We're not going to bother them. They can mow their own area. But I'm going to go all the way up and down, so quite a bit here to mow. Probably will pick up quite a bit of grass here also, and I'm really excited to try out that new forage wagon a little more. He did tell me he just wanted it back first thing next week. So first thing tomorrow, we'll get it back delivered to him. He's got to use it for his job. So really thank you and appreciative to my fellow farming neighbors. Let's go ahead and continue here. And this is actually where I'm going to turn around. So we're over here on Freedom County 64, mowing it up. There we go, completely done mowing that now. And I'm going to go ahead and get it put away because this should be the only amount of grass we should be able to get cut this week. It is only 2:23 p.m. and I am not backing this up that good. Sorry, I was looking at the clock up there. But yeah, just getting close to 2:30 and we really will be running out of time pretty fast. And we need to try to at least get the grass in town to sell. I'm not sure if we're going to make it or not, but we'll see. If we don't make it this week, we'll go in next week and get it sold first thing in the morning, or just keep filling it up. Like I said, well, actually, you know what? I can't fill it up because I got to return it to the farmer. I done forgot all about that. Well, we definitely got to get emptied out and done this month. Whether the sun's up or down, it's going to have to happen. Getting close to finishing this up now, and you know, I was thinking about the actual route I'm supposed to do. The county does not have an exact route for me to do. There's only a couple of areas that I must hit at the beginning of the season every single year. And that is around the parks and the lakes and stuff like that, you know, where the public will probably generally go to do some hiking and stuff like that. And the reason I don't start with those right away, I start with my yard in this road connected to my yard, is because my yard is actually pretty smooth. So not much terrain or bumpiness going on there. But this side of the road here is pretty bumpy and hard to traverse over. And I actually like doing that as kind of a test run, just to make sure all my equipment is still working properly, because it's been sitting all winter long, not doing anything. So I kind of utilize this area as my test run before I hit the main areas, because to get to the main areas, I have to drive pretty far away. And that takes some time. But we are up to 98,677 liters here, so quite a bit. Well, let's go ahead and get this driven all the way into town, and let's see if one of my trucks can hook up to it, because I really don't want to drive 19 miles an hour with the tractor down the highway. I've done it before. I've had a cop pull me over for it before too, and I mean, they gave me a warning. They told me I can't do it on the highway. back county roads, stuff like that, yes, it's fine. But I need to stay off the highway. Totally understandable, but I'm going to try out my new truck here. Hopefully this hooks up to it, not sure. There we go, actually able to hook up to it, which is great. Now the PTO and stuff like that just doesn't work, and really all the PTO works is the pickup part of it, so I don't need that. Now I am able to unload it without the PTO and air hoses hooked up, and the air hoses also work the brakes in the back too, but I'm able to disable those brakes back there. So now I have no brakes on the trailer, but I also don't have much weight on the trailer, hopefully. I don't know, this is pretty big looking compared to this truck right here. Hopefully we don't wreck. Let's see where this needs to go. The grass actually needs to go over to We Buy Hay. I guess they buy grass also, but you can kind of tell the price difference between the hay and grass. Hay is 76, so a little bit of a bump. And then right now the grass is at 61. We really need to get into silage, 231 right there. We probably will eventually. I did talk about getting a grass dryer to make hay, but really leaning towards the silage and probably will. But for right now, we're going to go over to We Buy Hay, get this sold, $61 per 1,000 liters. Now, we will take a quick look at the price fluctuation on this, and right now is actually a pretty high sell time, I would say. Pretty up there. We are in March, and then it's about to drop off big time. It is going to drop, and then start working its way back up. So if I have any grass right now, I need to get it sold for sure before I go into next month, because the price is going to drop horribly, and at that point, I start collecting it and trying to hold out until best sell time. Trying to. Doesn't always work that way, though. Especially with my spending habits buying these brand new trucks. Well, maybe doing 50 miles an hour is not a good idea, but we can at least do maybe 30, 35, which is quite a bit faster than 19 miles per hour. So the speed is actually starting to drop now. I did end up going off the road there, saving it. It lost a little control, but we are heading into Clearwater, Wyoming right now. And we got to actually go past Clearwater, Wyoming to get to the sell point. So I don't see myself having to go very fast for much longer. And the great thing about where this sells at is actually the local farmer. Oh, losing control a little bit there. Oh, got these bad drivers. Oh, wait, that's me, the bad driver. Nah, but the farmer that lended this to me, his farm is actually on the other side of this town too. So it's not very far, and I can drop it off to him and thank him for allowing me to test run this. Absolutely love it. Don't know if I'm going to end up getting one or not. I keep thinking about it. Maybe leasing one might be the correct route without any intent to buy. Usually whenever I lease something, I have intent to buy it. But this might be an item where I just lease with no intent to buy, because I'm thinking more and more about that whole silage thing. I called my wife, talked to her about it, and she's not against it. I mean, if we can make more money than just the hay, yeah. I mean, we're already doing the grass, so why not turn it into hay? But if we can turn it into silage, that is definitely going to get us a whole lot more money. And the farmer who lent me this stuff is that big red barn right up there, red barn, white house, and this is actually the sell point off to the right. We'll go ahead and take this into and get it sold. There we go. They told me to just go ahead and dump that grass right there. Did that. That was pretty easy. $6,057. Ooh, not much at all, not much at all. Definitely not as much as that log work I've been doing in the past. And the reason I don't do any of that lumberjack work right now is because my wife does not like me doing the lumberjack work. That is actually how her father died. He was a lumberjack trying to save the farm. Well, he was a farmer, but he was working up in the mountains for a little extra cash trying to save the farm. And there was an accident up there, so she does not like me working up there for a little extra money. So maybe I could talk her into allowing me to do it and start making some more money, because this whole grass business might not be the best route. Now, silage, maybe. But this grass, I don't know. Farmer told me to go ahead and just drop it off right here. He'll take care of it from there. And we're going to head on back to our farm? I don't know. I've been saying ranch this whole time. Now we're kind of like at the whole farm thing, because the place we're at right now is more of a farm. It's got all the fields across from it and everything, and that's what that homestead or farm was. It was a farm. My wife and her family, they ran a farm. They didn't run animals at all. They just had fields and crops. It's definitely something a little different. I'm more used to the animal side of it. We did have a few fields here and there as I was growing up, but that was grass fields. That was just to feed the cows. And every now and then we'd have a wheat field. That's why we had the harvester. I don't understand why my father had soybeans planted. That was kind of the weird thing. I couldn't quite figure it out. But hey, we're going to go ahead and get through town here, blowing through, doing 80 miles an hour right now. Ooh. Good thing there's no cop there to pull me over. Just got off the phone with the local dealership. They did tell me they had one of those 4-H wagons available to lease. Well, to rent, kind of, I guess. Because they don't want to get rid of it. It's a very popular item, and they actually don't want me to keep it every week. They want me to return it, that way other people can use it. So that might be a little bit of an issue. I'm going to call the next town over, see if they got one, because that was a huge time saver right there. Saved me so much time. But we're not going to be able to figure that out this episode. That's going to be next episode. Pulling back into the farm now, and I'm going to get everything put away and head inside to finish out this week. But for right now, I really want to just thank y'all so much for stopping in and watching. I really do appreciate it. Huge curveball, huge change just happened here. Let me know what y'all think about that. And I don't know, I was thinking I could definitely keep the ranch. It would just been a whole lot of lumberjack work, a whole lot, to kind of keep me afloat and keep me paying that $185,000 loan. So the direction of the series kind of went with something a little different. Threw something way out there. Did not see this coming myself whenever I started this series. So, I don't know. Let me know what y'all think. Kind of making it up as I go. Definitely don't got it planned out too well. But I think it'd be a fun little series, and now we're still trying to save the ranch. We are still trying to save the ranch. That is definitely going to happen. That is definitely my goal. At least I think it's going to happen. I don't know. Maybe my mind will change between now and then. But we are definitely trying to work towards that ranch. Now, another quick note about that is we still have all the products there at that ranch. We still have the greenhouse going. Nobody's came in and stopped us from using it, so we still utilize the greenhouse there, and we still have a silo full of soybeans. Now, technically, we don't own those soybeans, so we would be stealing them, I guess, if we went over there and got them. But they were ours to begin with, and I'm sure the bank wouldn't even notice. The bank doesn't come out here to this land anyways, so we might be going over there to get some soybeans at some point. But for right now, that's it. And if y'all haven't already, please make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And if y'all got any tips, tricks, or suggestions, feel free to leave them down in the comment section. They're always welcome and very much appreciate it. And until next time, y'all take care.